The Black Frontline is the largest oral history project featuring Black nurses and doctors from around the world, with 300 stories being captured. Well, I'm joined now by Esther Armah, who's the Executive Director of the Armah Institute of Emotional Justice and also the founder of the Black Frontline project. Good to see you this morning, Esther. Thank you for coming on Sky News. I know that you're bringing together Black frontline workers to share stories and to raise awareness. What are some of the common themes that you're seeking to illuminate?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. So the Black Frontline is a project co-directed by myself, Esther Armah, and Dr. Kim Gallen of COVID Black. And we're currently gathering 100 stories from the UK from Black doctors and nurses. It is powerful, devastating, illuminating, and deeply sobering to listen to Black nurses and Black doctors talk about their fear, the challenges they faced, the unrelenting loss from seeing people die, feeling both terrified by what they confronted, by the unknown, but then also the amazing communal coming together, focusing in, head down, just trying to do the very best they can with the tools that they had to get through. The backdrop of that, of course, is the longstanding inequity, the institutional racism that exists, and how that impacts, shapes, and determines so much of what is happening. And so this project is about saying their stories need to be centered in order to explore how we strategize to make structural change in healthcare in the UK. The stories are also from across the US and in Ghana in West Africa.
Yeah, so it's a big undertaking, and there have been various inquiries as well, haven't there, into the disproportionate impact on people of colour, particularly those on the front line because of COVID. What have they told us, if anything?
So our project focuses specifically on Black doctors and nurses. And what they're sharing with us is, on the one hand, the power of community to engage and stand together. But on the other hand, the isolation that comes from the kind of long-standing inequities that puts them on the front line without the kind of protection, and I don't just mean PPE, but the kinds of structural protections that healthcare should offer all of us. And so this project, which is globally led, we have a wonderful team in the UK, a team in the US, and a team here in Ghana who will gathering the stories. And part of the focus and the work and the aim is, for us, storytelling is our strategy to make structural change. And what we saw was an opportunity by gathering these stories of having Black nurses and Black doctors be not just on the front line in terms of endangering their lives, but in making the kind of change for the future healthcare that we all deserve, that their voices should be centered in that. And that's part of this, what project does. It's a multi-year project. This is year one, gathering those stories that will be available publicly. Different from other oral histories, it will be publicly available anywhere in the world on the Black Frontline website. And I'll also be doing events, panels, discussions, and then doing curricula. The curricula is all about shaping the healthcare of the future and really looking and saying that Black nurses and Black doctors deserve better. Structural racism is a cancer that actually kills all of us. And it needs not just to be eliminated individually, which is too often how it's defined, but for there to be the structural change so that healthcare is a lifeline and doesn't become a death sentence for anybody because of inequity or racism.
Yeah, you're building up a huge body of evidence there. Are you able to see already any specific changes that you think could be easily implemented to help?
One really important one, and I think it's a long-standing issue that has actually been highlighted again and again and again, is how having so many Black nurses and doctors right on the front line and too few in places of power and leadership means that you do not have a representation of the experience, the lived experience of what it means to confront prejudice, to confront bigotry. You don't have that lived experience in leadership spaces, transforming the experience across the board. Too often, the way that we come to racism is we imagine and we think that it's about Black people, it should be solved by Black people, and it's their issue. And actually, it is a societal issue. And so what Black nurses and Black doctors are starting to share, because all of the 300 doctors and nurses get asked the same 8 questions intentionally, so we can do comparative analysis, and that it's oral. So we want to hear all the accents, the beauty, what I call the sonic Blackness of all these doctors and nurses on the front line. And so what they're sharing is that they are offering their ideas for what change looks like. And then the work is to institutionalize those. So it no longer is isolated voices calling for individual change, but this body of work, galvanizing, organizing, strategizing to say that there can't be a back to pre-COVID reality. The future has to be changed and determined by those who've been on the front line, who've literally faced COVID eye to eye and still delivered top quality healthcare. We know they deserve better, but it can't be platitudes and just talk. It's got to manifest in making the structural change that would make their jobs safer